Hey everybody, Dave Schopius here in the Robot Lab. It's early September 2021 and I was thinking I was coming down the road to getting this guy finished up, and I am, but I ran into a couple little problems, one of which is the EZB I'm using. You can see it right there. Once in a while browns out part of it, which means it's starved for electricity and shuts down some of its components, and I get disconnected from Wi-Fi. And that happens when all the servos and motors start working. I've got them all off now, but if you've seen any of my other videos on this guy, he's got two arms. There's like 2 or 3 4 servos in each arm, plus a big motor in the back that drives the track in and out. Plus there's waste motors down below that turn it. But if all that's running and they're running too fast, then I'll get a brownout situation and it'll disconnect from Wi-Fi and I got a problem. So some guys up in Canada came up with this idea of using the Super Caps on the rail, the 3.5 or 3.3 rail of the ADC ports. And these two leads are actually right now connected to them. It's the black and the red. The red is the positive and the black is negative, so you get 3.3 volts DC between them. And I've got these on here just to make easy tests with my voltmeter. But what their modification was, and it sounded like a good idea, it works for them, is you take 2 Super Caps, and it's, let's see if I can get that to work here. No, I'm not going to get it, am I? They're Super Caps, but they're 2.7 volts, 1 farad, 1F. So there's 2.7 volts, 1F, and 2.7, 1F, and they're wired in series. So you got the hot lead coming in from the EZB, the negative lead going to the hot lead on the other cap, and then the negative side coming out and plug it into the negative rail on the 3.3 rail. So the problem, it's not working for me, and I'm not sure why, and I can't get a good answer why it's not, but it's just locking out. I put it on there and it just locks out my EZB. So I'm going to set up the camera now, and what I'll do is I'm going to show you what I have in here right now. There's a voltage in there right now. It's only about 1.7 volts. So I'm going to pause this and get right back to you and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm back, I think. Yeah, everything works. So you can see my voltmeter here is set on DC voltage, and it's showing 0 now. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But if I take my 2 leads here, these have been on the EZB and they were charged up. So, but right now they've been off the EZB for a while. I'll put my negative on the negative. Try to. My positive on the positive, which is kind of hard to do with these little things. Okay. You can see I got 1.77 volts in there. So that's these Super Caps are you got to be careful with these things. You can't really put them on the rail when they're fully charged or overcharged, or else you're going to blow up the EZB. And that I know that because I've done it. So I take a wire wound power resistor and plug it in on each side, and that should drain it. And we can watch that happen right here. It was 1.77. Now it's already down to 79, 69. See how it's draining there? Yeah, it's going down, going down. And if I leave this on for a minute or so, it'll go all the way down to 0. So it's 0.12, that's a microfarad right there. 9, 8, 7. It's all dissipating into the resistor is what's going on here. The charge is just draining. And I'm going to stop right about there because I think anything below 10 from what I read is fine. It's not going to be an issue. Oh, see, it's just slowly draining down. Do we wait? Do we wait? Nah, screw it. I'm done. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the rail of the EZB, and before I turn it on I will take another measurement up there, and you can see what I'm talking about. It should be almost 0. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the Super Cap bank attached to the proper places on the rail. Positives on positive and blacks on black. And I've got my test lead hooked up to the negative, and all I got to do now is touch this positive lead with my tester, and it should be able to tell me what this little cap bank is putting out into the EZB. The EZB now is turned off. It's off at the switch down below. So let me do this. I'm testing right now. And it's risen up to like 20 from where it was before. So to be honest with you, before I turned on the camera, it was at 15. This is the second time I've tested it. So those little things are recovering somehow. I guess that's normal from what I understand. So anyway, I'm going to turn this off now, and we will get ready, and I'll power up the EZB. Okay, all right, I'm down and ready now. I'm going to power on the EZB. Actually, I'm going to power on the whole robot, what's attached anyway. And what you should do, you should be able to hear a set of chimes, and you'll see some lights blinking on and off in here. And it'll say I'm connected. But I have another EZB down on the bottom that's going to do the same thing, so you should hear 2 sets of that. My problem is, because of that cap being connected right there, this thing will not boot up properly. It won't boot at all. I think it locks up. Okay, I'm going to turn it on. Now this is odd because right now that green blinking light should mean that it's ready and it's connected to the network. But if you see, there's another set of lights down here that aren't on. There should be some more lights down here. I believe blue means that it is connected, the Wi-Fi board is connected, but it's not. So let's take another reading and see what the EZB is putting out to these caps now. Remember, those caps were at like a half a microfarad, or a point, what was it, 0.20 microfarads? Let's see here. And now that's what that rail is supposed to be putting out, 3.3 volts. My guess, what's happening here is that these 2 caps being depleted like that are probably drawing current away from the EZB and putting it and keeping it in a brownout situation and not letting it connect. So the other odd thing is, if I leave this thing hooked up for 5 minutes or so and it powers these things up through the 3.3 voltage, or the if it charges these through the 3.3 voltage of the rail, then it will hook up to Wi-Fi, but it'll be, the voice will be very, very slow. So I'm going to turn off the camera, and let it charge up for a while, and then we'll come back and see what happens, okay? Alright, I'm back. This thing was charging for about 20-25 minutes, meaning that I had the EZB on, and these super caps were attached to the rail, hopefully building the charge. Now I am going to turn it back on and we'll see what happens, okay? Okay, here it goes. Nothing. Same status as before. Okay, well, I'm gonna turn it off again, and you can see that the caps will keep this thing going for a little bit. It's off. And 2, 3, slowly down to nothing. And you know what? I'm going to just for S and G's, shits and grins, find out how much we have here. Let's see. And right now it's at 1.66. It was probably higher until I drew it down. So it's off now, and it looks like it's down where it was before. I'm going to turn it back on, and you can't turn these things on and off very fast. You got to wait for a little bit before I let it dissipate, or else you could burn this thing up. I found that out really easy myself. I burnt up an EZB already doing this. So turn it back on. Oh, look at that. Did you hear that? That's what I'm getting. And that's what I'm finding. It'll hook up, but that guy there will, or the sound will be very, very slow. The sound comes out of that port right there. And it's wired in to an amplifier and then to the here, but it's you can tell it actually did connect now, and I have got a blue light down here, but these caps are still, I'm sorry, I mean it's showing at 3.31, but I'm sure that this little EZB is still powering them up a little bit. And I think the reason that thing is so slow there, the voice is so slow, is because charging those super caps might be slowing down the whole process. But that's just a layman's guess. All right, that's what I'm finding here. I'm going to shut this off and then pull those caps off of there and see what they're reading. I don't want to do that while it's powered on. I'm going to wait till it's powered off and then pull them. Okay, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to not pull it. I'm going to test it right here. 1.20, 1.19. Okay, just for fun, I've waited a couple minutes. That thing's drained, and I'm going to turn it back on and see what happens. Yep.
I have successfully connected to your network.
Now she's 100%. Okay, I'm going to let this thing sit overnight, and I'm going to come back, leave it in this state, and see what happens in the morning, okay? I'll see you guys when I wake up. Hi everybody, I'm back. It's like 13 or 14 hours later, the next day. And this robot's been sitting here idle, basically dead, all power off for that whole time. And if you remember, when we shut it down yesterday, these super caps were reading like about 1.68 or 1.70, something like that. But let's see what they're at right now. This right now is floating. And let's see here. All right, And it looks like it is, those caps are all drained off. Just, I mean, I didn't have anything going. I would imagine, and I don't have anything attached to the power rails of this EZB here, so the only power drain would be the caps charging, or trying to charge. So you see that is at 0. Let me go ahead and turn this guy on and see what happens. Yesterday we had a voice. So okay, and lights, and she connected. Let me see. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, well, I have a red light there. We didn't have yesterday, and we didn't hear anything coming out of the speaker. So I'm going to say that the board is still not connecting to Wi-Fi, and I'm not sure if it's locked up. I don't think it's locked up because you have that green light there. So I'm not really sure what's going on. But bottom line is it's not workable for my application. So unless I can figure out what's going on, it might be, maybe it's the board, but I've changed out the EZB since this first start happened. So this is the second EZB that I've tried it on with the same results. Or maybe those caps are just the wrong, maybe they're just bad. But I've changed them out too with the same manufacturer's caps though. So maybe I got a bad batch of caps. They're not holding the charge, or maybe the EZB's drawing them out. But to this point, right now, I can't see using this mod to stabilize that rail. And I'm going to have to probably slow down my servos and arms so I don't get a brownout, or find something else to do. So, but anyway, it's not unworkable, but it's not workable with that mod there. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any ideas, let me know. We'll see you guys next time in the robot lab. Bye bye.